In a world oversaturated with more opinions and
more opinions
or with whoops, Alex and the Garbage Man. Meosh. Story time by Nick. We're kicking it off tonight.
Yeah, so we're going to go right into it because this almost didn't happen tonight because I was pretty close to postponing it, but all pun intended shit turned around. So I'm going to do a Dave Chappelle, and I'm going to start by telling the punchline or the end of the story first. I should have had a salad and went to the gym. Now, that was my original plan last night, was to come home. Kim wasn't feeling well. She had a headache. So it was to come home, game for a little bit, go work out, grab a salad, come home. Well, I kind of got lost in the world of Grand Theft Auto and, oh shit, like I got to eat. I'm hungry. I was like, I won't go to the gym. So I decided to order a Hawaiian pizza, stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut.
Ooh.
Finished eating about 8 o'clock. By about 8:30, my guts are going bloop. And by 10 o'clock, I am puking like I haven't puked. And even the peanut butter wasn't this bad. And what made it worse was the cheese. I think it was the cheese because it wasn't digested at all. And I was having chunks of cheese come up, like getting stuck in my throat, making it worse. And yeah, so...
Thanks, Jolie.
Oh, I then puked and like I was on the toilet, so it's both sides. Yeah, it was totally cottage cheese, and like, oh god, my whole stomach still just I couldn't laugh today. So I get to bed about 11. I'm feeling okay, better, okay. And I woke up at 4 o'clock and I rolled over and the fat just kind of rolled and all of a sudden it was like, oh, fuck, here we go again. So back in the bathroom from about 4 till 6:30. Okay, I'm feeling okay. Okay. So I go lay back in bed. Of course, the alarm goes off at 7. I'm like, ah! All right. So I go and I just put my legs to the side and I shit you not. The bed breaks. The bed frame breaks, and I'm now on the ground.
I'm sorry.
No, it's hilarious now. And Kim's like, are you okay? I'm like, just leave me. I just laid there for about 5 minutes. So I drag myself up. And like I'm sitting at the end of the bed like a kid in my underwear. Just fucking defeated by the world. Right? Like all I wanted was a pizza and this went south fast. So I look at Kim and I'm like, I just should have had my salad and went to the gym. None of that would have fucking happened.
Yeah, it teaches you for not going to the gym.
Oh fuck. Like, jeez. So and to build off that, like going to the gym, I've been seeing a lot of commercials lately that are, and I'm allowed to speak on this because I am one of these, where it's like accepting body sizes and a plus size, like obese sizes. And as a guy who, I was getting better before the pandemic and before I got hurt, I was almost under 300 pounds. And I know a lot of people, well, it's still big. Well, fuck, I haven't been under 300 pounds since high school.
Yeah.
And, that's pretty good for a 41-year-old dude. I still don't agree with making it all right to be unhealthy. I don't know if that's what they're going for, because don't get me wrong, I've been the first one to admit that when it comes to my working out. Yeah, I love to work out. I do. But I love to eat KFC too. So I know how much better off I'd be if I would stop eating like shit at time, like most of the time. But I like to eat like shit. But I love working out. It's a double-edged sword. It really is,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen a few of these commercials lately, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I like it.
Were you going to go into the Pizza Hut thing that people are talking about this week?
Well, I guess we could. So, we have our one viewer. Where the hell's Ryan? Where are my messages? I heard this on the radio, and I thought it was one of those things like, oh, this can't be true, right? Like it can't be true, and it is very true. So, I will share my screen. Oh my god, why is it so close? All right, well, anyways, share screen. I don't know why the picture is so zoomed in, but it is. Okay, well that kind of works because there's the title. So this young man who has probably never seen a vagina, was offended. He was outraged because the sexual messaging on this bottle. Now, this is in the UK, so the sun.co.uk.news. So we're going to give the Reader's Digest version here. Basically, Alex, who is he concerned for?
The children.
Oh my God, the children. Now, judging by this guy, as I said, he's probably never seen a female genitalia aside from when he slid out of his mother's.
Well, let's not assume anything at the
I'm
moment.
going to assume whatever the fuck I want. We are bro science. I'm going to stick with that. So, a Pizza Hut apologized to him. So here's my problem with this. Number one, don't apologize to him. They should have nutted up. Like I've seen Burger King do it a few times, like taking shots at McDonald's and stuff. Just be like, grow up, sir. Because because it says squirt on it. And as a father of a young male, when he was young, if there was ever a bottle that said squirt on it, I'd be like, well, Dad, why does it say squirt? Because it even says shake, squeeze, and squirt. Squeeze, it squirts the ketchup out. And that's where the conversation would have ended. Yeah, buddy, you just squeeze the bottle, it squirts out. Okay.
Yeah, jump in with an English lesson here. The word squirt is an onomatopoeia. If you paid attention in English class, and I don't mean you, I mean anyone who's listening, you'll know that onomatopoeia means that the word describes the sound or the action. So jump, boom, bang,
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah.
So to me, that is the problem. Like this gives this guy merit. He probably is in his little brain is gonna be like, oh, you see what I did? Pizza Hut apologized to me. I'm the man. Right? And you're not. That's ridiculous. Like, holy shit, right? It's ridiculous. That is the world we live in.
Yeah. The fast food chain replied, quote, I can only apologize if you were caused any offense or upset on your recent visit to our hut. Please know it is not our intention to make any of our guests feel uncomfortable. I think what they should have said was, you take the word the way you want, and we will keep our intention of the word intact. You have the freedom to look at it however you want.
And that's just it. So there, yeah, like, I mean, maybe this guy's been watching too much Pornhub or something, and that's just where his brain went.
It means he hates women.
Okay, we'll go with that. He hates women.
Yeah. He hates the word squirt. He hates the word women.
And so, like I said to Alex for the show star, we were talking about this. I was like, so is he going to go after the squirt gun makers now? Ruh-roh.
Yeah, because they market directly to children. One of his quotes was, it is because of the chain's marketing aimed at children that I am worried. Let's see an example of what you're talking about. Show us the exact commercial, the exact advertisement that says we are aiming this product or this advertisement at children specifically.
No, it doesn't. I've seen the carryout commercials and like, the stuffed crust commercials, but I've never seen a commercial. It's like, yeah, we go at children and yeah, right? Huh?
I would love to see that commercial where a guy's like, yeah.
Like, oh fuck, it hurts to laugh. What was the one I said? Oh, so when I hope he shuts down Disney as well, because the little octopus in Finding Nemo was named Squirt. Oh my god!
I am offended.
Yeah, like just yes. I guess you are.
You know what?
Uh,
If he can be offended by a word, in this case squirt, I can be offended by the word offended. So now
yes,
what?
yes.
Can I cancel the word offended?
Can we please?
Yeah, we
Please.
can. We're going to start a movement.
Well, and like we were discussing, I'd have to find the story, but PETA is pushing for baseball to change. Ooh, he must have looked up that. I wonder how many days he's looked that word up for. He's like, I'm gonna show them
He was just so ready to drop that
fuck
word.
boys.
I'm cool with the
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
now.
Tammy, bring me my pudding. I totally burned them. Come see. He's like, you fucking assholes. I just wanted to say fucking hi.
Have the member of the liberal media bring me my pudding. Call him a
No,
fuckboy.
go to fuck boy. I will. Sorry again. So to go with the first story, so I am very tired. So I will apologize. I will be yawning a lot tonight, and it's not my intention to be rude, but I am exhausted. Um, when the Hangover came out, I mean it had been out for a little while, and one of the guys at work, he was an older gentleman. I love him to death, but he'd finally seen it, and he was calling me and the guy I worked with all the time, "Hey, gay boys!" Think you just watched The Hangover, didn't you? Yeah, it was fucking great. Dude, what'd you think of it? Great when I watched it 3 years ago. Like, yeah, he was
Wait
just,
till he sees the 40-year-old virgin.
oh my
Oh.
god! I was gonna look some. Oh yeah, the PETA. Yeah, the PETA. That's a PETA
The
uh,
PETA.
bullpen.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't find it. PETA bullpen. PETA? Who PETA? There it is. Bullpen. So yeah, so they want them to rename the bullpen to Arm Bar, Arm Barn. Like,
Arm barn?
just go away. Like,
Y'all really
go
don't have anything to do.
like, are we just at the bottom now? We're like, we don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, all the
Like,
important pieces and points and discussions have been had, and now we got to resort to crawling around on the ground, picking up scraps, and saying, we're going to make a mountain out of this molehill.
so bullpen refers to an area of the bull's pen where bulls were held before they were slaughtered. It's a word that is speciesized roots with species. Oh my god, speciesist. Yeah, instead of racist, it's speciesist roots. We can
Species,
do better
yeah.
than that. Like, I again, and these people, like, do they not realize what happens in nature? Like,
Probably not.
the killing and the eating that everything does of everything and everything. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not down with like the running of the bulls and shit. Like, I saw something that, oh, a guy was killed while the running of the bulls. Good. I hope they killed 10 of them.
I hope he had a good insurance policy.
Yeah, I hope he got gored right in his butthole. And he was like that. Like, if he got two of those stupid assholes on one side of each horn, and he looked like one of those fucked up vehicles from Mad Max. And then some little fucking, because they're in Spain, some little Spanish guy jumped on with a fucking guitar, was like in the movie. Fucking great. Yeah, I don't agree. I hate bullfighting, but give me a fucking break. Like,
Yeah. Well,
because this switching to arm bar would be a home run for baseball fans, players, and animals. Do you think half the redneck hillbillies give a fuck what the bullpen? They probably didn't even know what the bullpen was. They probably all just thought, much like myself, that the bullpen was just an area on the ball field where the pitchers warmed up.
yeah.
If you hadn't brought it to our attention, nobody would have fucking known.
Yeah. We call it the warm up area. I mean, It doesn't have to have a special name attached to it. Not everything does.
Now warming up in the arm barn. Who is up warming up in the arm barn? Fuck. So stupid.
Again, and this points to we've had pretty much all the important conversations up to this point. Now we have to nitpick.
Well, see, but the thing is, the problem is we haven't. Because the Catholic Church hasn't paid any of the fucking natives restitution for what the fuck happened. No, like, that's not happening. So the big fights aren't done. They're not. They're not done. But that's just, now they're just going to handpick little things. Because that's the thing. It's one of those things like, people always say, well, you throw as much shit at the wall as you possibly can to see what sticks. Right? So yeah, they probably just throw this up there along with 5, 6 other stupid things I'm sure they have fucking said. And then one of those things is going to stick. Much like stupid idiot face with fucking spaghetti or ketchup bottles. And he's going to get recognition for it.
Ahoy, hoy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Chad. Yeah, they're still waiting for clean water that was promised from the fucking liberal government. And I'm sure the conservative government before that. I'm sure fucking for years. Fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I wonder how many governments in the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years have promised to get clean drinking water to all these residential areas or the hell do they call them?
The reservations.
The reserves. Why don't I know a simple word like that? Maybe it's my white privilege. Anyway, I'm learning. And out of how many that exist, how many have received clean drinking water and still have it on a regular basis? I would love to see that number.
It's so fucked up. Sorry. It's so fucked up. I'm pretty sure like the Siksika Nation in Calgary, they don't have clean drinking water. And they live in Calgary. They're around the Calgary area.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure I've seen that.
If we can build pipelines for oil, we can do it for clean drinking water.
Now, I know what the white people say. And and maybe I need to do some digging because I've heard numerous people say this was, they've had the money, and this is one of the cite your sources thing, but the Chiefs spent it on stuff, or they bought stupid things, or they did stupid shit with it. Well, you got to, again, cite your sources. I have no problem reading set sources to be like, oh, fuck, like, it, like, very, like, they did, or, like, again, if it's like, the nativejournal.org or .net biz or something, like, yeah, it's probably pretty sketchy, right?
Maybe.
So cottage cheese, yes, it was very cottage cheese. Good Lord. Oh, if you're still here, did you go watch the video of Mackenzie?
I might have to message her and ask her that later. I don't think she's watching at this point.
Okay.
People pop in and out. It's fine.
Giggity. All right. All right. So you said you had a bunch of stuff that you wanted to discuss. So yeah. I would like to discuss set stories.
We'll start in your neck of the woods in the Alberta.
Okay.
Alberta politician angry after COVID-19 protesters leave gallows and noose at her house. And this was 2 days ago. And this is Tracy Allard. Do you know who Tracy Allard is?
No.
What do you mean, no? You live in the Alberta. You should know everyone and everything there.
Right.
Yes. So it was about 30 people who showed up. Doorbell cam footage. Tracy Allard, a United Conservative backbencher for Grand Prairie. And she was traveling to Edmonton Sunday afternoon when she got a call about a large crowd in front of her house. So she wasn't even there. But then again, there's no way they would know that. They left behind a crude wooden gallows with a noose and the words, "No to masks and the government, hang them all." Oh, so you got to resort to death threats and subtle threats of violence to make your political points. Hey, well, in my books, you lose.
Wow. Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yep. That happened, I want to say either early this year or late last year with one of the top Alberta doctors. That people were protesting outside his house too.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Wow, unreal.
Yeah, the RCMP didn't do anything aside from telling the people to take it down, I think. No charges laid.
Wow.
And this not the first time this happened. Last summer, then Health Minister Tyler Shandro and his family were publicly harassed at a Canada Day event by protesters upset by COVID-19 public health restrictions. Well, in that particular case, at least they are confronting him because he was then the health minister instead of giving backlash to, I don't know, retail workers, people at 7-Eleven, door greeters at Walmart. At least they're focusing on some of the people in power. So thumbs up for that, at the very least.
Now, so this was actually done on Halloween. 10/31/21. Now, what to these pieces of shit is what do you think would happen if someone showed up on their property and said, and put something that said, like just what they said, hang them all for not following protocol? And I guarantee you, how would that,
Yeah,
And-
because it's someone from the Berta, they'd have a gun and they'd say, I have a right to defend myself, because that's how everybody in the Berta talks.
Yeah. Wow. Like, that's disgusting. Like, what if their family was there and
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, this part, while not directly related to the story, is a little bit of muckraking, I think, but maybe a little bit of background as well. Miss Allard made headlines at the start of the year when she resigned as municipal affairs minister after it was revealed she took a Christmas vacation to Hawaii, despite Kenny's government urging Albertans to stay home to reduce the spread of COVID-19. So she's not exactly an angel. However, that has nothing to do with the protesters showing up at her place and leaving the gallows and the noose.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Yep.
I have the most rancid farts right now. They're fucking just wow.
A lot of the protesters preach their rights, yeah, but are always quoting the U.S. Constitution and Bill of Rights. Not sure I follow you there, Ryan.
What he's saying is he thinks he finds like the things that he's probably seen that's what they do. Like they talk about like the amendment, like free speech, and like, well, no, you're not in the United States right now.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I think that's what he's getting at.
Yeah, we don't have the same constitutional laws in the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely.
As the U.S. does. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
Jesus Christ. All right. Next story.
Speaking of Ryan, I did watch that episode of ER that you had talked about earlier. It was from season 7, episode 14. The episode's called The Walk in the Woods. That was one of the storylines, the subplots was an anti-vax mom who brought her kid to the ER because he was pretty much on death's door at that point. And she had some gold nugget lines that are still used to this day. For example, quote, I'm not an irresponsible parent. I read all the literature on the internet, the parenting magazines. I discussed it with my pediatrician. I breastfed. Zach's immune system could have been weakened from too many vaccinations. And then Noah Wiley, who plays the doctor who she was talking to, his retort was, the immune system is strengthened by vaccines. And then immediately she brings up the connection between vaccines and autism, which he shuts down right away. And then there's a problem with her son, so they got to run off and deal with that. It was a decent episode. I hadn't seen ER since the mid 90s. I don't think I made it much past season 2, but it was great to see again. So Ryan, thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
Yay, Ryan. You helped.
Yeah, you gave me 30 seconds of content, Ryan. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Man, cool guy.
See you at the beach.
That's my boy.
New York City. Got
That's
nothing
where we're
to
going
do
for
with
the
that.
next story?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just remember that being one of the catchphrases from a commercial
It was
back then.
Pace. It was salsa commercial.
Yes.
It's made in El Paso, Texas. That stuff's made in
New York City.
New York
New York
City.
City.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh,
So here's an
okay.
opinion from Ryan's neck of the woods from the Prince George Citizen. Trust is in short supply, and he gives a few examples as to why. And I had said this on the show before, that in this day and age, there's one thing we all should have learned, and it's that you can't trust anybody. And I don't mean you can't trust anybody at any point in time. I just mean, how do you know you can trust most of the people that you encounter out there? Because, again, I live in a large metropolitan area, and I'm not saying that the people I see and encounter in the gym are representative of the city I live in, but one would think on a statistical scale, maybe they do represent the 100-something thousand people that live in this city. And if that's the case, then I understand why the world is going down the shitter, because there are a few clear signs in the gym that say, please clean. It's either clean or wipe down. I should know by now. Please clean or wipe down equipment before and after use. Very clear, very simple language.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't do it. And I say most people, meaning 6 out of 10. Now, I don't have any data to back that up. That's something I'm simply pulling out of the old butthole. But again, trust is in short supply.
And we have the same thing at our gym. There's a couple people, and you just like there's, and it's not like there's not like cleaning, like we have garbage cans with the wipes are built right into it, so it's like it's not that hard, and they're all over the gym.
Yeah,
but you still get people that just don't do it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's one of those things as an adult human being, and you knew me back when I was a teenager. I mean, I was a dumb fuck up until probably recently. Now I'm older, still somewhat dumb, but not as dumb as I was.
I'll disagree. You don't give yourself enough credit. You were the smart one out of us.
Again, you know some dumb people if you think I'm one of the smarter ones.
Oh, I do. Well, you're talking to one of them, and one of them's in the chat and said ahoy ahoy. I love him to death.
Yeah,
I really do. But me and Mr. Labatuk are never going to claim to be the smartest peanuts in the turd. Ever.
I can hear Ryan laughing right now.
You're dealing with gentlemen that would make sure they organize their underwear so they're wearing the same underwear on a party night. So when we ended up in underwear, we were matching. That's the level of intelligence you're dealing with here. Anyways, I digress. Go ahead.
How do y'all get out of bed in the morning and not just die falling out? I
don't know. I fell today.
I broke the bed today.
Oh, you want to talk about a day where I just should have been able to call in and be like, I'm tapping out. I'm done.
Come on. Some people's pain is other people's comedy. You understand?
Oh, I get. No, dude, now I'm looking at it. It's fucking hilarious. At the time, it definitely was not. To which I would say nay, because it was not funny. At all.
So an example of trust being in short supply, many people don't trust the mainstream media. And there's a specific example I will give. When Joe Rogan got COVID, he went on his Instagram, he posted a short video of we threw the kitchen sink at it, and he went into everything that he had done to get over COVID-19. And if I remember correctly, CNN did a short story on that. They replayed part of his video, and I watched Jimmy Dore's take on this. And Jimmy Dore had screenshots side by side. So from Joe's video and then from CNN. And on the CNN screenshot, it was a little bit color disfigured. I think it was more either yellow or green, just slightly. And Jimmy Dore's pointing to that, saying that they had manipulated the footage. And if that's true, then fuck CNN, because they were also talking about ivermectin at the time. And Joe had said he had taken ivermectin. Now, not everyone knew back then, and this wasn't too long ago, that there's ivermectin for horses, and there's a different kind of ivermectin for humans in much smaller a dose, like much more minuscule a dose as opposed to what you would give horses because of the weight differential. And then they go into slamming Joe Rogan for that. So CNN not exactly being bastions of truth at that point. So there's one example of people not trusting the media. And so I'm totally on board for that particular example. Not everything, though.
Definitely not. But both medias do. And actually, the funny thing is with Joe, he had CNN's doctor on. If you can find the clips.
Yep.
And Joe called him out.
Yep.
He's like, they called me a liar, and you didn't say anything.
Yes, Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah, and he made this guy, and to me, this guy looked like a moron, just because he couldn't defend himself. And albeit I saw on one of those right wing like shows you see on Facebook, you'll get him in like the video and on your video page there. But he's like the guy. He just kept calling it. Joe just said, "You fucking lied."
Yep.
And he didn't have a. He was like, It was just, and it was hilarious because he probably thought, again, like the host said about Rogan was, he probably thought he was gonna go. It was gonna be a fucking squashy interview where Joe was gonna softball him questions, and the guy obviously didn't do his homework because that is not the way Joe Rogan conducts his interviews at all.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Joe had him backed into a corner in his lair and wasn't letting him go anywhere on that.
Nope, he wouldn't let, which is good. He shouldn't have.
But then again, in Dr. Gupta's defense, I don't think he had anything to do with that story. So he rightfully was not able to truthfully answer as to why that story was told the way it was. I mean, who reported it? Who wrote it? Who was the producer? Who was the editor? They have to be asked those tough questions. Sanjay Gupta, he's part of CNN, but that does not mean he's involved with every story that happens at CNN.
Not at all.
Definitely not.
Not at all. Not at all.
But at the very least, Joe got someone who was from CNN and pinned them to the wall on that. So that's probably as close as he's going to get.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. So.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Let's go to another one from the Prince George Citizen. And I like stirring the hornet's nest every once in a while, either for my own entertainment or because it stimulates conversation. And we all know that we can learn something from conversation, as long as it's not a bunch of yelling back and forth as we see on the internet all the time.
Exactly, yep.
So selfish Northerners filling BC hospitals. Now, this is a letter writer from Victoria. She's in her ivory tower pointing down at the unwashed masses, apparently. And she's talking about people who don't believe in the COVID-19 vaccine. And she's talking about questionable websites. She's basically going through, and I think I gave this example either last week or the week before, the amount of people who are unvaccinated who are in hospitals right now who are preventing other people who are suffering from perhaps life-threatening injuries or ailments who cannot get a bed in the hospital and end up dying from those ailments.
Hi, really?
Okay. I got to see this. Really is here, hey? Hey!
Well, that's just an ignorant statement. Like I don't really know. It's funny is actually that's the same thing that's going on with around Mackenzie. Like someone, it's funny. It's someone in Vancouver saying that, and like my father and Kim's dad also said that like they're trying to run Mackenzie like it's Vancouver, like saying people can't put their campers on their front lawns. Like we've done this forever, right? That's just the way we've been. Like, yeah, you can't put your campers there. It has to be on your driveway, And it's like, motherfucker, this is not Vancouver. This is northern British Columbia. Fuck off.
Yeah,
right?
did they pass a bylaw or something, or
I guess
want
they
to?
have, but it was people from Vancouver came up and they were doing this, right? That's what both my father and father-in-law said, right? So
Interesting.
The
reason I left Riley's comment up here because I have more time with my week, and so I'm just flying through podcast. I put up the speed on my MP3 player, so I'm listening at not quite 1.5 times speed, but 1.2, 1.3, so I can listen to more podcasts in the day. So I'm listening to all of Derailed. I'm listening to, and Derailed is every Sunday at, what is it, 10, 11 o'clock Eastern, and it's 4 hours. I'm listening to Less Than Serious, which is another show on Derailed, Skimming the News, and Strike Sessions. Brody was on the latest, I think it was episode 34 of Strike Sessions. He was on there for a good, 15 or 20 minutes. He's doing pretty well. I think this might be the return of Brody, which I'm kind of looking forward to because I haven't heard his voice in a while.
We actually, Go ahead.
The reason I bring up Really Mysterious's comment, because I think he likes to antagonize not Casey, but someone else on Drew's show, and I can't remember who.
Oh, you mean Brody?
Is it? Maybe it is Brody. I can't remember.
Oh, him and Brody used to go at each other hard.
Yeah. I don't listen to Star Talk. Maybe I should. If it's an hour long, I can probably fit it in. Giggity.
That's awesome. I actually, I'm just I listen to wrestling. That's it.
That's it?
I just, maybe, well, by the time, but then I like the podcasts I listen to, like the Jim Cornette podcast, they're like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually I'll get like today. It was actually funny because I wasn't feeling good. And he started actually talking about like old booking and wrestling, like how guys would get paid in the 80s and stuff. I had to turn it off because I was like trying not to puke. I thought I was gonna shit myself. I'm like, hey, there's just too much going on right now. I just let me turn some music really low and I'll just fucking
Yeah, probably Alex Payne. Yes. I think that was the most recent episode of Derailed. Someone was going in on Alex and Drew brought him onto the show to antagonize Alex, I guess. Yeah.
Nice.
But Alex Payne, he seems like a decent guy. He does have a different quality to his voice. I don't know what it is or how you could describe it. I'm not saying it's debilitating or it detracts from what he's saying. How did this get made? Oh, yes, I do listen to that. Absolutely. I did see them live in December of 2019. I took my girlfriend to one of their live shows. It was great.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Chadney, are you going to see Offspring? Are they in your guys' neighborhood? A couple of people, I guess Offspring's touring again, and a couple guys asked me to go, but I've seen Offspring already. And there was Simple Plan, so it's not like I want to go see Simple Plan. So, but if you haven't seen Offspring and they're going to be in your neighborhood, I recommend going to see them. They sounded just like the CD. Like they still sound great.
Nice.
Yeah. So
he's from the Bahamas. Okay.
Still waiting for Volbeat to tour again.
Again, how many times have you seen them live?
Well, it would have been 3 if the one with me and Chad were going to go to didn't get canceled. But I want to see Volbeat, but they're going to be with Ghost. And I like Ghost. Yeah, you should check them out. I don't know if they're not quite heavy, like not hugely heavy, but Jesus Christ, really. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's fucked up. There shouldn't be, but then again, they're human. So of course they're going to let the power go to their head. Yeah. Yeah, that's,
and especially in such a small town.
Yeah.
right?
There's enough personal vendettas going around as it is.
Oh, especially Mackenzie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know. Well, then again, I don't know. Nobody was out of their fucking house, so who knows what goes on there anymore. God, I know we always go back to it. It's so sad. Just what our town has become, guys. It's so fucking sad.
I don't think Alec Baldwin's going to be handling firearms anytime soon. I mean, he's late 60s, early 70s. He's anti-gun. He has used guns in movies before, but I think this is it for him in terms of touching firearms.
Okay, so we're not talking about anything right now. Yeah, I know, Ryan, you turned me on to Ghost, actually. I quite enjoy them.
What's their genre of music?
I wouldn't say... See, when I first saw their pictures, I thought metal. But they're not. I wouldn't call them... I'd call them... I don't know, Ryan, what would you describe their music as? They're kind of like... Again, I don't know. I'd say a rock.
Okay.
Heavy rock. Not quite metal, but a heavy rock. I quite enjoyed the stuff. Ryan shares them every once in a while on Facebook. So, I don't mind them. I would totally like to see. So, I do have to ask... Because we haven't talked about it yet. I'm talking for 43 minutes into the show. So, yeah, rock. Yeah, okay. I saw some pop up here that says, physicians warn a fifth wave if restrictions lifted too quickly as COVID numbers ease. So, my question is, what needs to be eased right now? In Alberta, you still have to wear masks. You have to be double vaccinated to go in, and the numbers are going down. They're dropping, which is awesome. Numbers are going down, right? Yep. What restrictions do we need to lift? If everybody's
lift or not lift yet.
It says if restrictions lifted too quickly, but I'm just saying, why should we be lifting any restrictions? What restrictions are going on?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to kind of skim through it here, so I'm not, Okay.
A bit too bland. I'll give Ghost a try. If you give me a few songs, I'll get into it so I have my own opinion on it.
That's your wheelhouse, Ryan. I don't know song names. They just come on and I listen to them, to be honest. So, expects Christmas numbers to go up after Christmas. Well, probably, yeah.
Traveling, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that becomes to be smart again. Like, if you stay with your family, like, this is the thing. If everybody's not sick, yeah, what really we actually had to do, I just saw your comment there. We actually just shuffled the band. Our drummer, we had to let our drummer go. Because, and you want to know what? It actually worked out for the better because he has 3 young children and he started a new job. And he just doesn't have the time. And so with that being said, we're back to acoustics, like the acoustic set. So we'd have to figure out how to mic everything so we could actually put it through the computer so that it wouldn't sound like shit. So, but we do have a new drummer. One of our guitarists left the band as well. He just wasn't feeling it anymore. That was his thing. But we still got me, Jared, and Ken, and we have a new drummer. So we were working on getting our drummer caught up, and I appreciate his name is Cole. He's really excited, he's naming songs, and I finally said, okay, listen, I love the enthusiasm, and I really do love the enthusiasm, but let's get you caught up on our, like, we all know that way. If somebody asks us to hey, could you do half an hour set? Yes, we can. We're ready to go. Right. So
I like the dad joke.
I was actually listening to Dark Side of the Moon today.
Yeah.
And when Us and Them came on, I was just like, how did they write this? Like, what? It's just so beautiful and amazing. Oh, hi, Bruce. Have a great night, sir.
Bye, Dad. Hi, Dad. Bye, Dad.
Bye. Didn't even know you were here. And yeah, just getting lost in how they bring all that together. Because it's not just a guitarist, a drummer, and a keyboardist. There's just all this majestic shit in this music, and God, the music nowadays, and don't get it twisted. I've admitted I'm 41, I don't care anymore. I love pop music. Actually, I listen to more pop music now than than anything now because I'm so sick of classic rock because I don't need to hear AC/DC Back in Black for the 975,452nd time.
Yep.
So I'd rather listen to fucking like the new, like some Bieber and this Kid Lazario and this shit because it's different. Ed Sheeran, it's different stuff. Rock music to me is like there's just nothing there. I mean, as a matter of fact, the new commercials that they do, they're like then, and it's like Black Sabbath, right? And it's like now, and it's like Linkin Park in the end. I'm like, motherfucker, that came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but that's everybody's go-to is Comfortably Numb, right? I'm talking like, and not that Us and Them is a deep cut. It's really not. Any Pink Floyd fan's gonna know Us and Them, but if you want to go deep, like Bring the Boys Back Home and Vera, just little songs off the wall that are like they're little snippets, and it's just like this the way the story, you need those songs just to build that story of the wall. And music just like,
Yeah, really, with the pop from the last 20 years, I'll hear it on the radio, and for the most part, I'll ignore it. There are some decent songs that you can pick out, but it's very sporadic. It's very like one per year or something like that, as opposed to the early 90s
oh,
to the year 2000 or 2001. When you turned on that radio, good Lord, you heard a lot of great stuff.
and even, yeah, for like you said, even pop music and stuff, it was great, like good stuff. It was
Yep.
catchy,
Yeah.
like, and I actually downloaded, I'm gonna get the song wrong, so because somebody had sampled it. Do you remember the song? And I kind of forgot about White Town. I could never be your woman.
White Town. No.
Here, if I could, I'll play the beginning.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, someone sampled that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't like the sample, but I actually enjoyed that song. So I went and downloaded it. Right? Like, I don't have any years on here, but even, I don't know. And maybe it's because people always say when you're a teenager, it's the most influential years of your music, right? Like, that's what you go back to. But like stuff from, and I want to go 1979. That's my go-to, but like Mayonnaise by the Smashing Pumpkins. Nutshell by Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
God, really, I'd said the same thing. Really, I did that with Zeppelin when I got Apple Music at first. I was like, holy shit, I had like 8,000 songs because I literally downloaded every Led Zeppelin, and I finally was like, okay, I'm never gonna listen to all these. And you know what? Everybody knows how much I love music and how much I'm into it. I don't need to have the B side of fucking Physical Graffiti. The full. If there's one or two songs I like, I'll just have those. So basically, what I did is I went through my phone and I just basically got the songs that I like, or the more, I guess, can't even say radio, but the ones I knew. Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yep.
So I had to do that. But
yeah, songs like Born to Be Wild from Steppenwolf. I don't have a copy of that. I listened to it so much when I was a kid. I'm hearing it right now in my head. I don't need
now too. You said it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a few years I'll have a copy of it, but at this point I don't need it. It's a great song. It's a great classic rock song, but it's not something I need in my wheelhouse right now because it's burned into my brain.
Well, go ahead. Keep going.
Same, really. Groups I wasn't huge fans. Same here in the past 2020. Yeah, wait a minute. Let's say from 2003 to, I don't know, 2010 or 11, bands that I had heard of in the 90s but didn't take stock of. I listened to pretty much everything I could find. And same with older bands as well, like Pink Floyd. I listened to everything they had put out. And the Beatles, same thing. And Black Sabbath, same thing. Just looking for what else is out there that isn't on mainstream rotation.
And you know what's absolutely stunning about the Beatles is 9 to fucking 10 years is all the Beatles run was. And you
Yeah.
just how their music changed in 10 years.
Yeah, it was like late 50s to late 60s, something like
Yep.
that. Or maybe it was
Yep.
early 70s because they were very young when they first started
Yep.
and they were clean cut. So I'm thinking that's late 50s, maybe early 60s.
So I'm just gonna name some bands here that I went back and listened to, and like now I remember listening to them, but I only have one song now, or two, like Better Than Ezra,
Yeah.
right? I listened to a few of them, and okay, and I think I only got good now. There was nothing that really caught my attention. Sponge, I don't remember Sponge, but they had a
No.
couple songs. They had a song called Plowed and 16 Candles.
Giggity.
Great,
Yeah.
yeah, great. Well, see, I can't listen to the Beatles anymore, Ryan. Not that I despise them, but I just, yeah, like my dad was such a fan of Abbey Road. Like we listened to the shit out of it. I can't listen to it anymore. For myself, because it got killed me, I like Godsmack's version of Come Together better than the Beatles because it just got, that's all my dad would listen to was Abbey fucking Road.
Ooh, speaking of Better Than Ezra, King of New Orleans was on the first Big Shiny Tunes. And then years later, I found At the Stars by Better Than Ezra. That's a really good song.
I'm just kind of going through my music right now.
Great, yeah.
But see, this is what I like. What I love about Apple Music now, because I would never buy this song, but like "Hey Leonardo" by Blessed Union of Souls. Like I don't know if you remember that song. She likes me for me, not because it's a catchy song.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't buy it. But now, I would have downloaded it in a completely legal manner.
Yeah, I had that album, Chad, Tonic's debut. That was great for its time. I still listen to, I think, 2 or 3 of those songs when I pull it up.
See, I got like Bloodhound Gang, Hooray for Boobies.
Yeah.
I got like I Hope You Die, Mope, Lap Dance is so much better than the strippers crying. And then I got From One Fierce Beer Coaster, Firewater Burn. Burn, motherfucker.
Burn. I like how they're in the old folks' home for that video. That's great.
Yes, it's fucking awesome.
Waterfront.
Seven Mary 3, there's a great band.
Yeah.
That did not get enough love. That first album, whatever, the one with Water's Edge and My. Oh, fuck, do I have that? I have to go check that right now.
Jason Minion was a huge fan of Seven Mary 3, if I remember correctly.
Water's Edge, Cumbersome, and My. Just those three songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cumbersome was awesome.
Yeah.
God, I love music so much. I don't know how people can't love music. I never understood it.
They're called deaf people. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's ableist. I'm sorry. Come on. But it's true, isn't it?
I kind of think so. Like
Tears for Fears, their first album. Oh, I can't remember their first album.
Me neither. I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
But I'm starting to get really heavy into 80s music that I missed over the years.
Have you been listening to Rainbow Pup Monkeys? Yes, yeah. Have you been listening to the Weeknd's new music?
I've heard some of it on the radio. It's not bad.
Very 80s. It's very this brand new song was like let's see if I can find where it is on my
Love Fool, yeah.
Take My Breath. Take My Breath is a new song. I quite enjoy it. It's very 80s. And Kim loves the 80s, so she's right into the Weeknd.
Police. Oh, my mom was, and I think still is, a huge fan of the Police. Some of their stuff is really great. God damn it, I can't remember what the name of the song is, but it's like something part 2.
Yeah, Synchronicity.
Yes,
great.
I love that intro.
Yeah, awesome song to play on bass.
The Watchmen. I saw their lead singer. He was in another band. When I saw Matthew Good at the Commodore Ballroom in like 2005.
The one with the guy from Big Wreck as well.
Oh, Ian Thornley.
Yeah.
Doctor was the name of the band.
Oh, okay. That wasn't the band I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yes, there was a band called the Butthole Surfers. You said your mom, and of course, then I just happened to be at Weird Al. The first song I look at is Midnight Star from In 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, and I remember you're the one that introduced me to Weird Al that way. That was
A
my first.
quandary, you say? All right. He's got to go poop. And he's
Probably.
old. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, the White Stripes. So they just this 20th anniversary for their first album, and so they put a vinyl out. The vinyl looks like a peppermint. It looks really cool. It looks like a peppermint. Yeah.
Boingo Boingo. I haven't taken stock of what they've done. I should listen to them. Make myself a note.
Boingo Boingo.
I'm glad you're here, really. Not just because you're here giving us good stuff. I mean, you're on some of the bigger shows like Derailed, again, for example. I'm not sure if you watch Joe Cronin's show, but Cronin appeared on Derailed recently. I had no idea that Gatekeeper Drew was part of Joe Cronin's show at some point in time. It's interesting to learn the history behind people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should really listen. Write a note too. For Sponge Plowed. I think you'd really like Plowed. I think you, and let me know, because to me that's 90s. To me, it's fucking 90s.
I will let you know.
Why am I looking at these people? Okay, let's see what else I got. I love, like, I could talk music. Oh, Wide Mouth Mason. That was the band I was thinking about.
When we did on the old show, I can't remember which music choices it was, but I brought up Wide Mouth Mason at one point. Yeah.
Ooh, I only heard a few of their songs, and again, I just didn't bother to go deeper. But 311, Beautiful Disaster, that's a good song. Yeah.
I remember 311. Drew's.
But I like Jake.
Nothing against Joe Cronin, but I'm not a sports fan, so that's why I don't watch Joe Cronin's show. He's a decent guy, though. I mean, you guys had him on the old show at least once, if not twice.
Oh, we had him once. We had Jake twice.
Yes, I remember Jake. Jake was good stuff. Saskatchewan boys, yes.
Alexis on Fire, they got some good shit. I wish I could have seen them. I would like to go see them live. They do it really, and I think it said this in the cover version of one of our shows. They do a cover of Midnight Oil's "The Dead Heart." Ooh. It's awesome. Yeah, I'd write that down. They do a great job. Write that down.
Okay. Write this down.
Again, Alice in Chains. What a tragedy he was gone so soon. Yeah, Asher McKaisen, The Devil in the Kitchen.
I wasn't too big into Sloan. I gave him a shot, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, and I couldn't really get into him either. The couple hits that I heard weren't bad, but yeah, I couldn't. Maybe I should go into a little more because I enjoyed the two big hits, but Arcade Fire, Ready to Start, and the song and Rebellion. They're a 9-piece band out of Montreal. And fuck, they were Ready to Start is my favorite song by them. Actually, I should add that to my favorites list while I'm sitting right here, because it's funny. I'll see a song like, oh shit, and I should put that on, like, because I do have a favorites list that if I'm like washing my truck or like the garbage truck or something, I'll throw on because I have my headphones with me. And yeah, don't tell me what to fucking do. Shut up. Add to oh no, I don't want to add to a playlist. I got to do this now because if I don't fucking do it, I'm gonna fucking forget. And then I'll be sitting there later early going, eating my pudding going, what was that song again?
Yeah, I remember Sam Roberts.
I like Sam Roberts. I didn't think he was too underrated. The poor guy was just in Canada. That's his problem. His issue is in Canada. Right? That's my thing. Like, I really liked Sam Roberts. I got a bunch of his songs.
I like Kitty.
Backerish.
Brackish, yeah.
Brackish, yeah. There's a song by the Chili Peppers. I think I said this one of our things. It's off the newer album called Dark Necessities. God, that reminds me of Mackenzie. I don't know why. It's so weird how songs can be like, can do that, just bring back. Stevie Ray Vaughan, I appreciate what that man could do with a guitar. I'm not a
Oh
hu-
yeah.
I'm not a huge blues guy. I'll be right up front. But to sit and listen to him, I'm just like, man, I like watching videos of him, watching him play.
Yep.
Oh fuck. He's amazing. God. And it's funny because I got guitars downstairs and I look at them and go, like, I could hand that to Stevie Ray Vaughan and he'd be able to play Little Wing or Voodoo Child, right? Like, and I can't even fucking make an E note, right? Like, you know what I mean?
I listened to everything that Stevie Ray Vaughan had at about the same time that I listened to everything that Johnny Winter had done. Johnny Winter's a pretty good blues guitarist as well.
Mm-hmm. See, and again, this is just me. I've never really listened to a lot of real or Gordon Lightfoot, but I love the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And though his "Lovers in a Dangerous Time" is a good song, the Bare Naked Ladies knocked that one out of the fucking park.
Yes, absolutely.
They're that cover that I couldn't. Oh my god, can you imagine that? Stevie Ray Vaughan opening for fucking Dire Straits. Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck Brody be fucking beating his dick right now. See, that's a band I don't think got enough credit because everyone got so hung up on money for nothing.
Yeah.
Dire Straits, that whole Brothers in Arm album is awesome.
I think I listened to that years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. I gotta delete some of these songs.
I want to go back to what Riley was saying about Neil Young leaving Canada. I think it was right for Neil to do so in the 1970s, what with the folk music movement that was still going on, which started in the 60s. I think he was in the right place at the right time because Neil Young, he was doing stuff in California at the time, and I think that was the place for him to be. It's great that he's from Canada, but it's also great that he can go elsewhere and expand his worldview, let's say, or his musical tastes to other people.
Can I ask you something? And
No.
We'll go back to music, hopefully. And really, chat, everybody chime in. What is your guys' opinion about Christmas decorations up already? For me, I doesn't bother me. I think, and when you hear people, and I have a friend at work that's very anti-decorating before Remembrance Day, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that is one of those things that, hey, guy, and I know we joked earlier before we came on air about I died for this, like to dig up a veteran to see what they thought, but on the grand scheme of things, this would be pretty low on the totem pole of what a veteran would think. Do you know what I'm trying to get at? Like,
yes, I do.
Let people do what they want to do.
I think people who are excited for Christmas, by all means, and it doesn't take away from Remembrance Day. It's not as though you're going to forget. And I don't think it's a shot at the troops, and it doesn't denigrate the troops unless the person who put up the decorations early is saying in particular, I don't care about the troops, I care more about Christmas. Then you go after that person. If that person decides to completely ignore Remembrance Day, but there's no rule stating that you cannot put up decorations before November 11th, Remembrance Day. You can do both. You can put up the decorations and you can still celebrate Remembrance Day like the rest of us.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a nothing burger of an issue. It's just like the war on Christmas. It's absolute bullshit.
I've had to say that to people, like when people say, if you're offended by a poppy, then leave. Has anyone, I mean, I know we only have 3 people watching right now, but who has ever had someone say to them, fuck your poppy, like ever? And I say Merry Christmas to everybody.
So
it's just like, and I've never ever had anyone be like, don't say Merry Christmas to me, brr. Like, have you?
No, and I put this up on my Facebook page a good few years ago asking people if there have been any legitimate instances of Christmas persecution or people saying, oh, you can't say Merry Christmas, or people being prevented. I think the word is prevented or not allowed to say Merry Christmas. There is not one single legitimate instance that I could find. And I know a few people. No one could cop to it.
No, and I've never heard, like it was like all that shit going around before about like Sharia law. They're bringing it here. What?
No, they're not.
Yeah, no, they're not at all. Like,
they? What do you mean? Who's they?
yeah, exactly. They, yeah. The Bilderbergs.
The Bilderbergs. I ought to get a flailing arm inflatable and flailing tube. I can't even say that correctly. Inflatable arm flailing tube man that says the Bilderbergs and just fly that for an intro.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying, really. But who has ever said they're offended by a Christmas tree?
Yeah. Although in this day and age, because we have the story about the guy at Pizza Hut who was offended by the word squirt, eventually we will see a person or two who's going to go on social media and say, I'm offended by a Christmas tree, whether trolling or not.
Cut down the little trees where the elves live and they make their cookies.
The media, I think sometimes they do amplify non-burger story, or pardon me, nothing burger stories like that, just for the clicks and stuff. So
Yeah.
you got something of a point, really. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. They do. They fucking do.
Slow news day.
Slow news day. Yep. Oh. Well, you got any more stories you want to rip through, or was that it?
I have 3 more.
Okay.
All right. So this is the Vancouver Sun. Vancouver climate parking program sparks major reader concern. And this was a few days ago, or more than a few days ago. Sorry, October 12th. So the gist of the story is that I think it was Vancouver City Council wanted to put in permits that were paid by the year for people to park on the street. And this is like $40 a year, which amounts to something like less than 13 cents a day. There it is, less than 13 cents a day.
Okay.
And I don't know what the money would go toward, but hopefully it would go toward something useful like road upgrades, perhaps.
Yeah.
And the Vancouver mayor decided to vote against it after hearing from speakers and giving careful consideration to the staff report. Now, we can all say that, yeah, $40 a year is not a lot of money, but not everyone can afford it. Like some people are living right at that line where if more and more things get more and more expensive, all of a sudden they have to start making choices. Do I put gas in my car or do I eat today? Which
they're already there.
A lot of people are.
Don't
yes,
get it twisted. They're already there.
There's going to be a lot more with stuff like this.
Well, and that's just it. I know here in Alberta, September, food rose 4%.
And it's going to go up again.
And my wages did not go up 4%. And that doesn't include the 3.28 inflation from last year.
Now, that's the thing. You can't expect a private business, and I'm not referring to you yourself because you're with the town,
yes,
but other people like my employer, who is a private business, you cannot expect them to look at what the cost of living is and match that.
Well, they can't. That
is not their responsibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that being said too, like me and my wife have 2 very nice and reliable vehicles, brand new to us. I mean, I've had my truck, I think had 16 kilometers on it when I got it. And the wife, her Jeep had like 20. So we've had them my truck's now paid off. But we knew it was going to be tight for a few years. But the idea was 2 paid off vehicles and then we're done for a long time. Hopefully.
Aside from maintenance and replacing carburetors and other things like that.
Fuel injection, anything like that's just it. Even if it's a Dodge, so transmissions usually go. I'll drop the $4,000 to $5,000 on the transmission, and guess what? The truck will be fine.
It's a Dodge, so you got to push it every once in a while to get it started, right?
It's not a Ford.
Married with Children joke.
Yeah.
No, really, that's going to be our show one day where we're going to have nothing to talk about, and all of a sudden Nick's going to be like, "Oh my god, the broke a turn there. Why do I talk like this with all the R's in my sentences?"
Oh my god! You've never seen those pictures of Ermagerd?
Oh, I have.
Ermagerd testicles. That was my favorite one. Now, see, now it's funny when you talk about money going into places, and so when we went back to Mackenzie, of course, we go through Jasper, we go through the national park, right? Beautiful drive, love it, but they charge you $20 just to drive through it. Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
Now, I would be fine with that if they, fix the road, because there's a spot right down by the Columbia ice fields. It looks like old concrete. It's an old road. It has been like that for 14 years or 17. Oh my god, yeah, 17, because I moved here when Colin was an infant. And that road's never changed, never been fixed, nothing's been done about it. And it's just, it looks old, and it like, I'd be all good if the roads are good. I mean, you're getting how many vehicles a day at $20 a day? Just thinking,
Slush fund or someone skimming that pot, I think.
Don't assume anything. We at the
I know.
Jabroni Jabber podcast.
We should have asked Brody if we could use that name since it's his property. No.
Oh yeah, Jabroni. Yeah, duh. Fuck that. Jabroni Jabber. Wow. Well, we were talking about the old show a lot tonight, so.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with
What
that.
old show? Huh? Old show? What the frick?
So I'm going to bring up one, or I got two more, but this one I thought was interesting, even though I couldn't find the full commentary on it. So this is from September 28th. Nurses Union vaccination stance is embarrassing.
Okay.
And this is all I could find on it, because if I keep scrolling down, it goes into other stuff.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
So this is a recently retired registered nurse and former BC and Nurse Union member.
Okay.
The BCNU website states that the union protects and advances the health and safety of not only their members, but their patients, profession, and community. They argue that we cannot afford even one less nurse on the front lines. Yet, an unvaccinated nurse has the potential to add to the healthcare burden, either by becoming a patient with COVID themselves or creating more COVID patients by spreading the disease. This argument does not hold up in the face of available science. We've heard recently, and maybe even more than recently, that even people who are double vaccinated can still get and spread the Werner.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. Is he here? I got to see this. I guess he's done his old show. Hey, Frank, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I see Frank on Derailed as well. Frank, I'm starting to watch more Derailed, so it's great to hear you over there. I don't watch the videos. I download the streams as audio and I listen to them. So good on you, good sir. Hope you're doing well. What's happening in your world in Ohio? He is in Ohio, isn't he? Yeah, because he was born in Cali and he's in Ohio now. Yeah.
I thought it was Jersey. Who the fuck's in Jersey?
Trash is in Jersey.
No shit.
That's what Jersey is famous for, apparently. It's a bunch of trash. I'm sorry that you sit through Derailed. I don't waste my time sitting through it. I download it as audio and I play it on my MP3 player when I'm at my job. So I get paid. I listen to Drew and yourself and Alex Payne and sometimes Brody and who's the cartoon kid? Ray Rollins and some other people. So it's all good. Yeah. And Night Watch Zone. I'm listening to them as well. I put them in the description because since I'm listening to so much of them, I might as well promote them in some way, shape, or form. So we're slowly shrinking the world by bringing more people together, or at least trying to.
Yeah, bringing everyone together.
Yeah. So we can all shout racial epithets one another. No, I'm kidding.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, so I don't even know now. What do we do?
I got one more.
All right. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to fade. I'm sleepy. If you want to know why, Frank, you have to go to the beginning of the show and listen to what happened to why I'm sleepy.
Since legalization, cannabis consumers are choosing regulated vendors and usage levels have not significantly escalated. I know it says haven't, but I wanted to emphasize the have not because apparently people were arguing right before Trudeau legalized marijuana that there were going to be children using the weed and the place is going to go to hell because we're all going to be stoned. Well, that has not proven true. Again, it's just a bunch of conservative bullshit and fear mongering and scare tactics.
Well, my father is a regular user of marijuana, and I never was.
Yeah, so it's not true that whatever the father does, the son will follow.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Now, and that being said, I am completely pro weed.
Yeah, same here.
Like completely pro marijuana, like 113%. But it's just not my thing. But I've done some edibles that help me sleep.
Yeah, I got some of the little THC oil, and I tried that a few times, and it helped me sleep. I still have it. I don't use it as much. I probably should use it a bit more. But prior to legalization, 16% of British Columbians reported they used cannabis a few times each month or more often. Today, 21%. So it's up 5% when was legalization? 2018, I think?
Sounds right.
Probably says that. I've been too stoned, man. I can't remember, man.
Because I'm like all like fucking fried, dude. And I'd be like, hey, man. Like, oh my God, yeah.
Preferred source of cannabis varies by age group. Youngsters prefer edibles. The 55 plus opts for tinctures, oils, or capsules. Those 35 to 54 opt for smoking the weed, man. Major goal of legalization was to curb marijuana users purchasing from the black market. And if I remember correctly, I don't think there have been too many complaints with regards to purchasing legal weed regarding the efficacy or the quality of it.
Oh, it makes me laugh. The black market. Like they make it the black market. Meanwhile, it's fucking Bob down the street who's growing out in his fucking garage. He lives in his fucking flip flops and fucking house coat. Fucking black market. Fuck. The Bilderbergs.
The New World Order.
Yeah. Frogs are gay.
Not other drugs. Now, there may be a case. I know TJ Kirk has made this argument in the past that legalization of all drugs would probably lead to less crime overall. And perhaps that's true, but I think that's a very small cross-section of the United States population who would stop committing crimes if they had access to all drugs that became legal. I don't even have stats to back that up. Like Dick Masterson says, or not playing on what he says, I don't got a stats for you.
This is total bro science.
Mm-hmm.
Right, take another shot. But I remember Rogan was talking a lot about like mushrooms being used to help PTSD survivor, like from in the military and whatnot. So if there's actually significant scientific data that is proving this, then I'm for using hallucinogenics in the proper manner to help people, as I'm going not nearly what someone has went through in war, but I'm going through some PTSD right now. So it's very important, men's or like anyone's health, especially men, because men don't talk about that shit, right? Because you're always like, again, it is a stereotype of you're taught to be a man, don't be a weenie, no, we don't talk about feelings. So,
I'm not exactly in favor of men, like a whole group of men getting together and having a big cry meeting. Have you ever seen
not
those
at all.
before?
Yeah, no, that's redonkulous.
Yeah, but just being more open with thoughts and feelings. And yes, it's okay to break down sometimes, because if you don't, you might go postal one day because you're holding it all inside.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Yeah.
I'm most definitely. You gotta let it out.
Yeah.
So
So yes,
yeah.
again, Frank, speaking of which, gotta let it out. Go back to the beginning of the show and you'll understand why Nick ain't feeling so hot at this point.
Actually, no, I'm okay. Oh, see, now this is the world we live in, guys. Like, Lethbridge area roasted toast. Big fat roast to the skip the driver that stole my boyfriend's meal. So frustrating.
What? I completely
Somebody
blanked on all that.
apparently somebody's skipped the dishes driver stole their boyfriend's meal.
Oh, okay.
It's just like we're such a first world problem. Like, uh Jesus Christ. Like fuck. Oh, and I gotta go immediately to roast and toast to say it. Like, call skip the dishes, you stupid twat waffle. Fuck.
Thank you, Frank. I really appreciate with all that, not only you, but Drew as well. Like Drew, I don't know how many shows he does a week, but he's got a full-time job. He's got a family. I don't know what else he does with the time, but he's busy constantly. And Frank, I imagine it's the same for you. So anytime you show up here, I don't know about Nick, but I myself am really appreciative.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, well, I
Because
most definitely am, yep.
you got a life, and I've said this many times, there's nothing anyone is going to learn from watching this show. It's just going to be a waste of your time. So if you want to waste time with us, I really appreciate it.
And and I've said it before, for me, it's a good way to just get my I guess I could say venom just to to purge. And not in the way that's happened earlier. But because again, like I said, I'll sit there and read someone's comments like, "You, sir, are an anus," and I wish you fucking. I'm like, just this way I can just get my thoughts out, and I can
Yeah.
just call everybody an anus at one in one shot, right? So I,
An anus. And not even an ass, not an asshole. You graduated to that level of adulthood where you're referring to specific body parts and their biological function. Like you don't call someone a dick, you call them a penis.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd never call someone a vagina because I think twat is a wonderful word. I love that word.
It's a good thing we're not monetized because we'd be demonetized right now.
I love that word. How can CM Punk, he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
He once said, and he said this is one thing that he learned from a teacher and I'm gonna probably say this wrong, but there are no there are no bad words. They're just bad intentions. I
Now
could
you
say
yeah.
the word fuck. Okay? But if you take it as, that's horrible for me to say, that's not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
That you don't like the word fuck. It's a word. And it's one of the greatest words in the world because you can use it in so many different, ways that, it's great. But yeah, there's just bad intentions of what you're using for the word.
Now you remember that George Carlin bit when he was talking about Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor.
Which
Do
one?
you,
No, I do not remember. I'll be honest, I don't. I'm not even gonna pretend I do.
ooh, I think it's on YouTube, but I think it was his 1988 stand-up. I think it's "What Am I Still Doing in New Jersey?" He was using the N-word, but he was using it in a specific context. And he says himself, context, context. He says it like that. There's
For sure.
yeah. And a smart guy like George Carlin, who is a wordsmith with words, even more than Kanye, he knows how to use even that word. I'd like to say properly, but then I'll get canceled. But he used it in such a way that he didn't get canceled at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Well, that's it, is it?
Hey, we're almost at an hour and a half, so that's all right.
Yeah. You know, we should all try and be a little bit more like Keanu Reeves if we can, because he's a nice guy. And he's part Canadian. And he hasn't been canceled yet either.
Not yet. He's a pretty nice dude. Before we go there, yeah, you're going to bring that picture where he's like not touching the girls. You've seen that one?
Hover hands with Keanu Reeves? I have not seen that.
You've never seen, he does the hover hands. Just he's like, yeah, and it's actually a pretty funny picture. So
I remember when that was a thing, hover hands.
Hover hands, yeah.
Yeah. Well, for all who are here and were here, Jolene at the beginning, and then old man Lissick in the liberal media, down to Redneck and Really and Frank and my dad, who showed up for a minute.
Yeah,
just to say bye.
Just to say, okay, I'm leaving. Bye. Jesus. Right. Good night, Ryan. Always pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you, Frank.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Frank, and I hope you do your retro movie reviews again at some point, because those were pretty cool. There were a few that I didn't know about that you turned me on to. So thank you. Good to see you again, and everyone else who I've forgotten. Not you. No, I'm kidding. I'm like, not you.
Bye, Chadney. Love you, dude.
Good night. Good night, Chad. Enjoy that pudding. We'll be back next week. And now our view count is up to 5 as we're about to end the show. I noticed that Jen wasn't here. She usually watches later if she's not here live, which is great. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Good to see you on the flip side, I guess.
And Sarah, I believe Sarah does too. My sister Sarah, so...
Yeah, I haven't seen her for a while. I guess she watches
Reese,
after.
Reese has Ringette on Thursday nights now, so. Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a betting man, but I'll bet my bottom dollar on making many dollars selling a t-shirt that says, "Fuck you, Gordon Campbell." And you can take that to the bank.